Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. I want to give you the latest update of what's going on with the pavilion and what else we had going on here. So we planted the cherry trees down here, okay? And so we got 3 cherry trees, about 15 feet apart. And so they're going to obviously be here. And so what will happen is we're only going to let them get so high, and then they're going to be topped off. So, but it's a good spot for them. Actually, in the afternoons, it will eventually offer shade, more shade for the pavilion. Down here, okay, we ran into a little bit of problem. So when the original boards went in, the first 4, okay, Mark had messed up a little bit, because there was an extra maybe inch on the ends of these that had to be cut off. Well, when he measured this first one, he counted that extra inch, so the boards were off, so they actually had to all be redone. And so if you see here, you see how those boards there go all the way down and these boards here don't? Those 4 boards there, that's where the wood stove will be. So we beefed it up and made it more solid there. And then we got the spacers in between here. Beefed that up through the center there, and that'll happen the rest of the way down too. So we got all these in. And couple things. We needed finishing nails. We were using nails that were not designed for this. So we're going to be going actually today to get the finishing nails. They cut the first piece of plywood for the floor for here, and Dave has a jigsaw, but he didn't have the blades with him. So we have to go and get some jigsaw blades. So there's a couple things that we needed to pick up to get. So so Dave's going to be here for a little bit yet. So him and I are going to be working on this, working on continuing down and getting, the rest of these put in, and start working on getting the floor in and stuff like that. So, I mean, we did make progress on this. We didn't have the lumber here, so we had, been discussing back and forth, what should we do, how should we do it, should we go with untreated lumber, or should we get pressure treated lumber? And ultimately the decision was made that we needed to do it right the first time, and, pay once, cry once, as the old saying goes. So we ended up going with the pressure-treated lumber, and quite expensive, to be honest with you. And but it's it'll be good. This is going to be solid. Oh, the other thing that we were going to get that we didn't get, the reason none of the plywood is in there, we're going to get the glue that you put on first, and then you put the plywood down so there's no bounce or squeaking when you walk. So it's going to seal it in that much better. So that's another thing we're going to be getting. But so Dave and I are going to work on this this week. What do we got here? Garbage. But yeah, it's forward progress, folks. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. We didn't have any of this done before the weekend, and now we got this much done. Again, Dave and I will work on this some more. It was a very, very productive weekend, in my opinion, based on what we were dealing with. We've planted 13 more trees this weekend. Dave and I went to Lowe's and picked up all the lumber. Now that was a heavy load on the trailer, I will tell you that. It was a very, very heavy load. The trailer's back down over here now. That was a heavy load on the trailer. And, it's, like I said, then we got the plastic down underneath, put the gravel in on top of that is a moisture barrier. So that was done as well. It was really nice. A couple of the days it was very, very warm. People were sitting under here. So this framing is going to be coming out of there because we're not going to need that anymore. So we will obviously, moving forward, be utilizing the pavilion one way or another. Once we get the floor in here, it's going to be that much better. You know, we're going to have to make some steps. I believe so to give you kind of an overview real quick what the game plan is for the pavilion. We're going to have walls all the way up here on the back wall, this wall here to this post to post, that post to that post. That will all be sealed in, okay? Completely sealed in, because the wood stove is going to be here. We're going to have, you know, like counters to work on, to, you know, and all that type of stuff, and storage in the pavilion itself for what we need for cooking and stuff. And then obviously we got to have wood and everything else as well. So this part here, the second part, the entrance to the pavilion will be here. Okay, so we're going to end up cutting in some steps through here to come down to come in here. So here will be the entrance. What will happen is there'll be a partial wall halfway up here, and then obviously you'll have your door to come into the pavilion. The rest of the areas here, like this back wall here, will have a half wall. That will have half, and half again. And what we'll do, planning on doing, above that will be a screened-in area, so that we can be in the pavilion, be able to catch the breeze in the summertime, be able to look out, you know, and do that. What we're going to eventually do as well is have it so that we have other plywood that we can turn up, if you will, and close in when the winter comes. So it'll be able to swing down, it'll be able to close up, and we'll have a secure area in the winter where we can have the fire going at that end. We can be able to cook, do what we want to do, be able to get in, out of the weather, you know, and all those type of things. This is a huge thing, to be honest with you, with what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, because as we get into next winter, all right, we're going to have a place to be out of the weather. If we're working on a project, we can go out, work on a project for half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever the case may be. And if the weather is really bad, obviously you're going to do it in shorter bursts, but you're going to have some place to get in, get out of the weather, warm up, sit down, have a hot meal, and all those things. So it's, you know, we as a group, when we were talking, obviously a lot of the focus, as you guys know, this year has been the road. You know, the road has been a priority for a while because it needed a lot of work. The road is in a lot better shape than it was. There's still work to do on the road, not going to lie. Probably need at least 3 more loads of gravel on the road. And then there's a culvert that needs to be replaced. Those will happen later on down the road, but they're going to get done, and we'll get those squared away as we move forward. So, what else? But then, so after we had, you know, focused on that, then the pavilion was the other thing that we really wanted to get going and make progress on that. You know, and I want to remind you guys of something. There was, you know, I've had people, you know, naysayers, if you will, have said, oh, that's not going to be functional for this long or that long or whatever. You know what, guys? I don't care how long it takes. We're going to do it right. We're not going to quickly slap it together. It's not going to be jerry-rigged together. It's going to be done right. If it costs more because of that, it costs more because of that. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? So the pressure-treated lumber, the plywood, and that plywood is not laying directly on the ground, too, just so you know, it's off the ground. The plywood, 3/4-inch plywood. The brackets, we had to pick up all the brackets. The brackets are in there, you know, for hanging. The bolts, this, you know, all of that just for the floor for this pavilion was $1,400, and I think it was $36. So $1,436. That's a lot of money, you know, and that's one aspect of this, what we're doing. One aspect. Now we're going to put T111 on the sides, so, you know, that'll go on. And then what'll end up happening is, like, probably next spring we'll stain that. So give it the winter to settle in and do that. And then in the spring will stain the walls, on the outside walls. We have to get plywood up on top yet. Got to close in the tops. There'll be storage up there, probably canning jars, that type of thing like that. So there will be a decent amount of storage up there. But I'm really pleased with everything. It's coming along great, and it's like I said, it's been a lot of work, and there's still more work to do. But you know what? We're going to get it done. It'll be squared away. We're going to, come together and do our thing, and that'll be it. But we now have 23 fruit trees planted on the property. We have 8 blueberry bushes that got planted. It's just the bunker or the LPOP up on the top of the hill up here, that is not done yet. There's still more work that needs to be done on that, but it's there and it's coming along. And it's just it's been really good. And it's a great team effort, and that's what the biggest thing that I would say to anybody. You got to have a team to make things work. You got to have a team because again, when it comes to construction, when it comes to mechanics with maintenance on a vehicle, changing brakes, all that type of stuff, it ain't my forte. It ain't it's not my thing. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to do whatever you want, but you have to have the right people, knowing what you have to do and those type of things. But like I said, coming along, we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race. So anyway, guys, I am going to jump off for now, but I wanted to give you an update on the Pavilion so you could see what was going on. Again, as Dave and I work on that this week, I will give you more updates moving forward. So remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much better shape. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? Have a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.